What is up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond. I am back with my own review of the Belle Collective. So it is the day of the cast trip to New Orleans, but the couples are going to arrive first. Okay, we got Lateisha and Glenn, Cliff and Latrice, Sophia and JJ, Willie and Nikesha. Okay, and they're all in a Sprinter van. This is the first time all the couples have been around each other. They're hoping this is a weekend for them to have fun, relax, bond. Marie and Tamber will arrive the morning of the brunch. And Cliff at some point spoke about how he really didn't want to come on this trip. He only wanted to come because Latrice was coming and he didn't want her to be alone. No, you wanted to come because your boo thing Glenn was here. And you probably wanted to back him up in case he wasn't going to be in a good place with Willie. So their first stop in Louisiana was at a Whitney plantation so they can get a humbling experience of the ancestry of African Americans. And I gotta say, it was a humbling experience. It was a beautiful thing to witness, to see the slave houses, to see the plantation owner home, and to look how far we've come, you know what I'm saying, for our success, at a time where we wouldn't be able to think we could reach success, having our ancestors go through all that pain and suffering to give us this right, to give us this opportunity, it definitely awakens you and lets you realize that this type of success or this type of momentum to be here is not to be taken for granted. So Lateisha got to come with a history lesson because she doesn't like all the petty arguments. She doesn't like all the conflicts and tension, even though she is a part of it. She likes to create it and she enjoys, doing it. But this is just her way of trying to look at the importance of it. Let's look at the message behind all of this, right? Look at how far we want our generations to learn where we came from and how it's important for us to learn about our history and that all of this was given to us. We were blessed to have this. And everybody was emotional. Everybody was appreciative, especially Gucci. She reflects on how important it is for everybody to move on and move forward and not focus on petty drama, referring to her issues with Selena, how she was petty and how all of this has divided her family. And it's like, I gotta fix this. This gotta get right. And back on the bus, everybody's headed to the Airbnb. Lateisha talks about Cliff coming by her office unannounced to speak for Glenn, about quitting his job. And that's how everyone heard the big announcement. Glenn quit his job, everybody. And Latrice was surprised because she did not know that Cliff was going to go over to Latisha's office and speak to her. And all Cliff can worry about is how he got shot down. You know what I'm saying? He got all the backlash because he was just a messenger. But if you're inserting yourself in other people's marriages, what makes you think you're not going to get hit with that same energy? You're speaking for a man who's afraid to tell his wife something. So you thought he was going to get off unscathed? I guess. But Latrice even said, even had the best intentions on talking to her, I felt like it was still disrespectful and you could have at least told me. But at the end of the day, Cliff didn't want to hear it. He said, I did what I wanted to do, with this what it is. But Tisha wanted to know from Glenn, did you really buy a box truck? Now, Glenn's put on the spot. He doesn't want to answer the question because he wants to find a proper way of explaining the plan to her and pretty much keep all the information he has from her until he gets the truck and gets the ball rolling on making money with the truck. How long is that going to take? So you're going to withhold information of how your plan is to be in the box truck business and it's going to make you a lot of money, but you're not going to let her know your plans. You're not going to let her know what steps you take. So you're keeping this from her. Okay. Let's see how that will turn out. So there's been a lot of communication issues with the husbands in this room, particularly Latrice's and Latisha's husbands, because apparently there's a birthday party planned for Glenn by Cliff, and it's on the same day as Latrice's grand opening. I think for goddess links or for taste. And that's not cool, okay? So first, you went and spoke to Latisha without her permission, and now you're being very inconsiderate by planning a birthday party for your friend on the same day as your wife's big day. No, 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 no. And that is Latrice's problem with Cliff. They have horrible communication issues. He lacks respect for her, which is, this is her words in her confessional. That's what pisses her off about Cliff. You never listen to what I have to say. You lack respect for me, and that's a problem. But this is what we have been seeing, Latrice. I'm surprised you're not calling him Zaddy anymore. It's Cliff now. It's gonna be weak ass in a second. Hold on. So, on top of learning about the party, Akeisha and Willie discovered they're not invited. They're not invited to Glendale's party. He wanted to pretend as if, oh, I didn't know y'all was gonna be here. Y'all gonna be in town? Yes, we are. No, they didn't want them to come. And Glenn is still on this wavelength about Willie and Akeisha showboating and bragging about everything. And I'm like, what have they bragged about? What? I don't understand. I feel like Willie and Akeisha have been showing up normal. They've been transparent. They've been fitting in with everybody. I think that because of the way that Willie and Akeisha have a very solid foundation in their relationship and they're successful business owners, I think that's what you and Lateisha strive to be. You know, Lateisha wants to pretend she's this amazing business owner, but she's lacking in certain areas, and you just quit your job. So I don't see how folks can want to look at you and Lateisha and think, oh, those are couple goals. When we see Akeisha and Willie, they give couple goals. And I think you're envious of that. Because there's no other reason why you don't like Willie at all. I get it. He's from a different city, so he thinks differently. I think that's your problem because someone thinks differently than you, and you feel like it's wrong that they think differently than you. Okay. So when they arrive at the house, it's a very nice house. Letitia had a second line man to welcome them in. They all dance, they enjoy it. Then they all find their rooms. And with Letitia and Glenn, she lets him know that she invited Selena because since everybody's been having a good time, I want to keep up with the energy. I think we have a good time once Selena gets here. And she never told Gucci that Selena's going to be here and that she's going to be a greeter at the brunch because she's all about bringing everybody together and want everyone to have a good time. And the perfect person to exude that energy is Selena. She is fun, she's sociable, she's a great person. But it's like, are you not aware of the no contact order, Lateisha? I mean, I feel like at this point, the no contact order pretty much was lifted right when Gucci says she's comfortable being in the same place with Selena. But I think because it was so accelerated, she had to accept it. Letitia, you're not doing well with being messy by setting up Gucci and Selena to be in the same place. Okay? Like, I don't think that's cool. I think you're overstepping your boundaries at this point. And you're doing this all for the sake of, you know, wanting you to have a splash, wanting you to have a moment for the show because you need this check. But girl, I cannot. You're really being production's puppet at this point. You are. And your whole purpose is to not tell them because you don't want to scare them away. Okay, Letitia, sure. That's why you were not to be trusted. And this will be the first time the men will be at the brunch. Who knows? Maybe this will be a new thing. And JJ and Sophia, they are, you know, concerned about how the guest list might be. Maybe a surprise person might come. JJ's talking about ain't nobody gonna run us out of nowhere. We don't worry about people. We let the worrying be on other people. I'm like, okay, big talker. Okay. Big talker. So now we get the conversation with Letitia and Glenn about him stepping out as an entrepreneur. He felt like she would have discouraged him, you know, not been as supportive because she is solely focused on the security, right? She said, well, if you had let me know and we could have worked out a plan, I would have been supportive. You know what I'm saying? But you got to talk to me. I feel like that's the problem. We keep on sweeping under the rug and avoiding it. And she's worried about all these, you know, issues that she's imagining when it comes to her biopsy because she's nervous, okay? She's trying to be positive. But he reassures her that you're going to be fine, you're going to be fine. I am not going to ignore that while Glenn never told you when exactly he was going to quit his job, you should have still told him about your mammogram appointment. That was still important for you to let him know so he can prepare for what's to occur. And after they hug, we get to Latrice and Cliff. They're having a discussion about why she didn't think it was appropriate for Cliff to go to Letitia's office. Now he's giving her this aggressive energy. He's getting frustrated because she's saying, I didn't like that you didn't tell me. He said, I did tell you. I did tell you. Well, was she listening? Or like, did you run it by her and not explain it? Like, how did she obtain that information? But who knows? Could this be Latrice and Cliff reigniting an argument they've already had before? They want us to have a moment for us to see it. I don't know. But he just going off about how I'm a man. I did what I did. I stand by what I did. Da, 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 da. And again, Latrice is like, what's all this energy you're giving me? I don't like it. You're not going to check me like I'm a child. That's the problem. What you did was wrong. I'm going to tell you what you did was wrong. And the back and forth argument was crazy, okay? She said, okay, we could just end it right here. Okay, we done. No, we done, we done. And he said, okay, let me get out of here. She said, you can get out of here. There's extra rooms in here. You do not have to come back in this room. He said, no, I'll find you a room. You won't find me shit. I ain't going nowhere. Yeah, all right, I ain't going nowhere. Get your weak ass on somewhere. When she said, get your weak ass on somewhere, I said, ooh, that was real. And that's pretty much Latrice letting us know I don't get just fussed at and cussed at by this man. I go toe to toe with him. He ain't gonna ever check me as if I'm not gonna check him. That's what that was for. I'm happy you went there with him. Like, you're not afraid to go that way with him. You're not afraid to, talk to him like he talks to you. Like, I'm a grown ass woman. You ain't gonna ever disrespect me. I'm here for it though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm here for it. Then it is the next day. Okay, Gucci hired a chef to provide breakfast, even though they're going to brunch. There's no telling, what they would eat during that time. I ain't mad at it though, because who knows? Lateisha might have had y'all starving, and y'all wouldn't have known what to have eaten. Put have, parked near the Starbucks and had y'all get a cup of coffee, some Danish, an egg bite or something, just to keep something in y'all system until y'all had y'all lunch at the brunch. So thankful to Gucci, okay? And to keep the energy going, which is very, very nice, okay? Very, very nice. You know what I'm saying? They had a good night. Let's have a great morning. And I'm happy. They're all laughing. They're all getting along. And this is where Sophia pretty much, introduced herself as Sophia. So she's not going by So Gucci anymore. And now that everyone is preparing for the brunch, and we see Tambra, Selena, and Marie arrive. And apparently when Selena got the call to come to the event, she was happy, but she was also, going there to work at the event. She's never helped Lateisha out of any of her events. She's always been there to support. But the fact that she's there, did Selena know that Gucci was coming? I just want to know who told anybody anything when Selena and Gucci were coming, okay? So Marie, she's been to New Orleans multiple times. It's so close to Mississippi. She's happy to be here with all the ladies. She's very happy to see Tambra. She's also very happy that Tambra initiated the conversation so they can move forward. Appreciated. And when they did arrive, the brunch was very nice. I love the colors, And with Selena being the greeter, she did say hello to everybody, including JJ and Gucci, and they were not happy. Cue the awkward music. And wow, knowing that Lateisha set this up, she said, "You're gonna force me to see my see my husband's ex? No, not gonna work. I'm going to really respect my husband's wishes and avoid his ex." Okay, and now Lateisha set it up where they're at the same table. It's like, wow, more and more and more do Gucci feel the pressure on having to, deal with Selena being around her, okay? And she did set you up. It was very messy of Lateisha to set you up and not let you know so you could prepare for it. And she was like, we know that Gucci did reveal that she will be okay with having a conversation. She'll be okay with her being in the same room, just not right now. Okay? But knowing how uncomfortable she can tell JJ is, she knew he was ready to go. And that's exactly what happened. She walked over, said, "He okay?" He said, "I'm ready to go. I ain't got nothing to say. Let's go." I will say this though, JJ. The way you are pretty much creating more of an issue between Selena and the rest of your family, it's going to be on you that they're going to have to figure out how to move forward. And you got to learn how to not be so petty. You got to learn how to let it go. We heard Gucci tell you multiple times she's ready to move forward. She's ready to end it. She has taken accountability that she did go too far by pressing charges, but you still want to hold off and say you got some beef with Selena. What's your beef with Selena? Because she told her story of how y'all met, how y'all got married, how the marriage wasn't as good, how, y'all were breaking up, and what? What, JJ? What? What else? Okay? I feel like you're definitely pressuring Gucci to still stay mad over the fact that you're not ready to let go. You're not ready to move on. I don't know. But they're going to see them later at the house, and Lateisha is upset that they left. But hey, Lateisha, can't force people to stay. and this was a very uncomfortable feeling for them. But this is what I don't like about Lateisha, okay? Like, you want to know why they can't be in the same room together, but you knew what happened the last time they were in the same room together, and you've known what happened since then. So what are you acting blonde for? Like, I don't understand. Um, so when she's sitting with the ladies, she explained to the ladies Gucci and JJ left, and she don't know why, but if you can understand they have a court order that they can't be around the same order, they can't be around the same person, then why act confused? That's exactly what you did. When you invited Selena back to the house for a pool party, you pretty much threw it out there. Listen, y'all are grown women. If y'all know y'all can't be around each other for y'all court order, then y'all gonna figure it out. But it was figured out before though, Lateisha, that they were trying to maneuver and navigate on how to still infiltrate Selena in, but not do it with Gucci being around, because they were trying to be respectful of the contact order. At least Akeisha was. I don't think you were. But other than that, though, we're gonna move on from there. So Tamara, she does the hosting thing, and there were some amazing entrepreneurs in the room. We even see a crossover uh, scene with Nell and Chris Fletcher. They were invited to the brunch to discuss their nonprofit Kids Foundation. And Tisha's in the background in her confessional talking about how this would have been a great opportunity for Gucci. I mean, she did have her banner out there for to promote her business. So she, left at a time when she could have promoted her business. I hear that, the Lateisha. It was a good idea, but she preferred to respect her husband's wishes than to stay and have him be uncomfortable. So hearing all these entrepreneurs was supposed to be an uplifting moment for Glenn to know that navigating as an entrepreneur isn't a easy thing, it's a hard thing, but you can also try and try again. Then Tisha presents the Businessman of the Year award, and it's for Cliff Rogers. Okay, he has created outstanding businesses. He's giving back to the communities. He's fed the homeless. I was like, Cliff feeding the homeless? Wow, go Cliff. He didn't even know he was going to receive this award, so he was emotional. He gave a lot of good advice. When your first plan don't work, you try a second plan, and you keep on trying. If your first round of business don't work, you try again. You keep trying. The success is going to keep on getting better and better. Knowing Latrice, she's going to stick up and say, that's my man, okay? And that was pretty much it. The brunch was over. Everybody heads downstairs to see all the other businesses so they can network and showcase their businesses. We see Latrice's Body Links banner, Gucci's real estate banner, Lateisha's banners. Lateisha also, she calls herself the queen of the brunch, saying the brunch queen. She has created her own dinnerware place, which is a good idea. Okay, you hosting all these brunches, it'll be very profitable for you to showcase your brunch plates and also have them be available for sale with their own, affirmations on it. Very good idea. So Marie comes in, she's upset. She's hoping and hollering that she don't see her promotional banner. And she blames it on Lateisha. Now, Lateisha had a director who was in charge of setting up all the banners. I need to know, Marie. Once Lateisha gave everybody the green light to promote their business and get their business cards all printed up and pay for banners, did you confirm with Lateisha, along with that executive director, that you're dropping off your promotional banner? And did they confirm it? We have your banner. We're, taking it with us. Like, I think it's communication on both sides. Because if Lateisha failed miserably, I'm not double checking that your banner was there. That is her fault. But also, Marie, you got a mouth too. You could have also double confirmed that your banner made it to her office in time for them to pack it up and set everything up. That's all I'm saying, okay? But I'm very happy that while trying to convince Marie it wasn't my fault, I didn't do this on purpose, she walks off and says, I'm done. I'm holding you accountable. I'm very happy you let her go. I'm very happy you didn't allow her to have this moment. Even though it was just the Bells downstairs having this moment, it still would have been embarrassing. But she let her walk off. She didn't tell her to stay. She didn't tell her to say, I'm going to figure it out. No, it's going to be something to just handle later. I'm not trying to ruin a good energy, a good vibe, a good event. I was feeling a way about JJ and Sophia leaving, but moving on from there. But then I got you reminding me about another problem. I'm not going to feed into it. We're going to talk about it later. Cool. So everybody makes it back to the house and they start to work out, courtesy of Gucci. She's not about to have to eat all of this food and not work out. And the fellas, they're going to go out in the town and have a couple of drinks. And with noticing that Selena made it to the event and she was a part of the event, she said, "You definitely set me up and I don't know why." Akeisha had said in her confessional, "I don't know why Lateisha is trying to force Lena and Gucci to be near one another to work out their issues. Inviting her to the house is just messy. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to follow my friend's movements. I'm going to follow her plan. I'm going to support whatever decision she makes." And I do appreciate that from Keisha. Like, she's not taking sides, though, but she is trying to be mindful of her friend's feelings. And you trying to force them to be in the same place, it's like, what is your reasoning? What is your purpose? I feel like you should have understood that their contact order should have been respected, but I guess. And while the ladies all got in their workout gear and doing exercises, Marie talks about how her butt is all hers. It's not a BBL. Okay. Sure, Marie. Sure. Maybe it's a fat transfer. Who knows? But it just doesn't look nice. Either way. So after they worked out, they are headed by the pool, and the men make it to the first bar, and they are congratulating, Glenn for stepping out, being an entrepreneurship, and JJ congratulates him, wondering how long has it been for them to unwind. Then they talk about how did JJ feel when noticing Selena was there. He said, "I didn't even know she was going to be here," okay? And I think Glenn talks about how he's been in uncomfortable situations before. And JJ stops him by saying, "Okay, you might have been in one, but you only have one child." Like, talk about being in an uncomfortable situation with someone you've had multiple children with, okay? Like, there's a lot of things that y'all don't know. There's a lot of things that should have been left unsaid. And JJ is frustrated. Frustrated about the whole situation and frustrated about Glenn trying to act like he knows everything when he don't know nothing. He needs to worry about focusing on him finding a job and keeping a job than worried about what I got going on. Don't come to me and tell me how I need to, maneuver and figure out how to fix my shit when you need to fix your shit. Like, Glenn is like, JJ is over it, okay? JJ has clocked in, okay? And then he also clocked the way that Glenn is acting like he knows it all and he's better than everybody because of Cliff. He's following Cliff's mentality. He's following Cliff's personality, okay? Like, you be too busy telling other people how they need to fix their own lives when you need to sweep on your own door as well. He said that's why you messing up your own relationship, because you don't have no right to be worried about how everybody else's relationship is if your shit not right. I'm like, ooh, Jada, tell them how you really feel. Oof. So back with the ladies, Lateisha asks Latrice, do she want to have children? She talks about how she has that fear of being a great mother, but also, worried about doing it all by herself because her father wasn't around. That still affects her to this day. If she was to have children, she would have been a married single woman, and her husband would not be as hands-on as he should be. So she's in the headspace of just figuring it out. But Latrice not having children. I mean, I think she looks at that part of her life is done for. I mean, she does have grandchildren because of Cliff's older children. She thinks that's going to be her only time of experiencing little kids instead of her own. But if she feels like this will be something she's going to be doing all by herself, then girl, do not do it. Don't get pregnant by somebody who you have that fear. He will not help. Don't do it. Okay? Just don't. Then there's a knock on the door. We know who it is. It's Selena. And it's very refreshing to see all the ladies laugh and hang out. Even Marie and Latrice, they were getting along, even they're very far from one another. And they spoke about their funny back and forth banter at Gucci's party where Marie was poking out her ass and wondering did Latrice think it's real. She said, is it real or is it store-bought? She said it was store-bought, but I love it. Like, they would get along so well. The show would be really, really good if they can all get along. So Selena comes in again, and Gucci was like, okay, Lateisha, you're taking this way too far. Like, you are just doing too much, trying to mend fences, and it's not working. I need you to stay out of it. It is my family. It is my problem. It is not your job to fix it, okay? But even though this occurred where everybody was influenced by Gucci, it's like you can't blame them. But I understand Gucci. I get it. Um, but like I said, I think that the no contact order is pretty much null and void at that point. So Lateisha even told Sophia at the brunch, Selena said, I don't have no beef with you. And I think that we should fix it. When Gucci told Lateisha, why do you need to fix it? She said, I don't. But I'm letting you know what she said. I mean, you were still messy though, Lateisha. I'm not going to hold you. It's like you want tension because you want it to be a moment where everybody got to witness it so you can have it this moment to experience. But back with the fellas, JJ's talking about family matters work out when family matters work it out, okay? And they aren't going to allow any outsiders to come in and tell them what they need to do. So he pretty much told Glenn, if I was to come at you about your business, I would have told you you should stage your ass on that tugboat. You should have figured out a way for you to make sure your family's taken care of, so that way you ain't got to worry about your son. You ain't got to worry about them not having insurance, and you won't have to worry about your wife paying out of pocket for a procedure. That's what I would have told you if I was trying to get in your business. I was crying because I'm like, damn, JJ, tell us how you really feel. Like, for you to try to like word it where I could have said this to you, but I would have been in the wrong, and I would have been poking my nose in your business. And I don't want to, but I'm still gonna let you know how I feel. I mean, you weren't lying though. The way you told Glenn, you were not lying, okay? Um, but they all laughed it off because they were like, I hear you, I feel what you're trying to say, I get it. Then we get to why they don't like Willie, especially Cliff. Cliff really don't like Willie, and he said, "Listen, I know that I might have said things that rubbed y'all the wrong way, but I'm gonna be me, and I'm an asshole pretty much because how I operate authentically me." And if folks don't like it, it is what it is. Because Cliff couldn't wait to say, so if you like the way you are, and if you come off the way you come off, then folks are going to say, well, you're an asshole. And Willie was like, I am. I am an asshole. Trust and believe. When I was playing in the NFL, I was not a nice person. So that's how I am. But trust and believe, I respect all of y'all. And I ain't got no problems with y'all. I appreciate y'all, infiltrating me into the group. But again, Cliff and Glenn don't like him. Even Glenn called him decent. Because Willie was like, I ain't got no problem with you, Glenn. I actually like you. And, even them not liking Willie as much as they like JJ, Willie is fine. Like, he's not trying to beg to be their friend. But it's like, obviously we're developing some type of cordialness where y'all can tolerate me, which I ain't got no problem with. Hell, I'm tolerating y'all too. It is what it is, okay? So back with the ladies, Sophia talks about wanting to have a conversation with Selena because she wants everything to be over and done with. I can't change the way my husband feels, okay? And Selena was shocked that Sophia wanted to have this conversation, and she asked if all the ladies could leave so they can have this moment. They all said yes. Maybe I should have switched it. I mean, y'all by a pool. I don't want nothing to happen when y'all fighting in the pool. So maybe y'all should have just moved the conversation elsewhere without a pool being involved. Maybe I could have had a conversation inside the house and all the ladies could have stayed outside by the pool. But they all walked off, and they all hopeful that the conversation can go well. Okay. Now Selena said, I don't know how this conversation could go because I know how my mouth can get and I know how her mouth can get. And that's where it's to be continued. We're going to get to the conversation where Gucci is pretty much done. Okay, she is tired of being in this space. She is telling Selena in the next episode in the sneak peek, I want JJ to move forward with his girls. I want that. Okay, and I have to say this. The more we hear Gucci saying that she's done, she doesn't want to be, petty anymore. She doesn't want them to be no more division. She doesn't want them to be in this space. She wants to move forward. JJ's not here listening. That's what I'm getting. JJ is not listening. He wants them to be in contention. Like, I don't know what you want, JJ. I don't. The more and more I'm hearing Gucci say she doesn't want to be in this space anymore, she wants to move forward, she wants to bring the family back together. Why aren't you listening to your wife? But then Gucci gotta pretty much become silent and be submissive towards you to not let you know how she feels because she doesn't want to upset you, that I don't want to be mad anymore. I'm done being upset. I'm done feeling embarrassed. I'm done being petty. I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to be done with this. And you're not. Yeah, that's got to be tiring. And JJ, you are at fault for all of this. I'm sorry. You are. All this is because of you and the way you have put a battery in Sophia's back to come at Selena in that manner, because it's never going to be, ignored that y'all did discuss Selena in a negative way when it comes to her parenting and how you felt the way that she never really wanted to be back together with you. All of that is off of you, JJ, off of your resentment and frustration and anger towards her over what happened in the past. And you're making Gucci pay for it by her showing up for you, her defending you, and her just going along with what you're saying. If you're not going to listen to her, saying that she don't want to be this mad, she doesn't want to go through this. But again, that's all I got. But it was a pretty good episode. I enjoyed it. Next episode, like, it's going to be very good. But that's it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for my next video. I'm see you guys later. Bye.